heritage. We popping like Aruba. I've been soaring like I'm Gordon. A hitter like I'm Brisker. Call me Lucas, play the left. Now I'm sitting in the center. It's Swift Sports Network. Don't forget his name or get it confused. Cause homie, you know we gon' explain. You know I'm on the move like feed. Don't even worry about everything I do, I key. Don't even worry about grinding so I shine every day. Don't even worry about I finally recognize why they hate. You know I'm on the move like feed. Don't even worry about everything I do, I key. Don't even worry about grinding so I shine every day. Don't even worry about.
What's up, guys? Swift here. Breaking news. Chicago Bears have just signed defensive end Demarcus Walker. I see some takes in the chat. A lot of hating on his 7 sacks. I mean, he instantly is going to come in and be the best player on our defensive line. We need upgrades. He didn't spend a lot on it. Yeah, chat was going into chaos. I was kind of just watching the chat go into chaos a bit. It was kind of fun. I ain't even gonna lie. But I had to research Carter. I was hoping for some breaking news tonight, so I actually had heard from a very reliable source before Draymond Jones signed with the Seahawks that the Bears were in. The Bears had the biggest offer for him. He chose Seattle. Let's talk quickly about Demarcus Walker, though. I mean, he's the man of the hour. He's 6'4", 280 pounds, 33-inch arm length. He's 28 years old. He just turned 28. He's a former second-round pick. To me, he's a defensive end. Could he possibly play 3-tech? Maybe. I need to watch more tape. I need to watch more tape on him before I can say if he can play 3-tech. But he is defensive line. I mean, the biggest thing about this draft, guys, is the defensive line is talented. Swift. Buck. Oh, the polls? There's a polls emote. Is that what you're talking about? Where's it at? Yeah, everybody has the polls emoji. He asked me to add it, so I added it. It's King Polls, baby. I'm probably gonna put a crown on him. I'm gonna redo it and put a crown on his head too. Yeah, King Polls, baby. He just put a comment and he was like, "Hey, you need a polls emote," and 5 minutes later I had a polls emote. That's fine though, tough guy. We don't have to. I'm not saying Walker is. I mean, you can go look in my top 10 defensive end list. I'm not gonna lie. He was on my list. I think I had him. It was 5 through 7, somewhere in there, maybe even 8th. He's not a top tier player, but I mean, Eberflus. He loves to rotate defensive line anyway. This is a talented player coming in on our defensive line. We still need to continue adding to the defensive line. He doesn't improve it like... I mean, this isn't as big of an upgrade as Tremaine Edmonds or any of the 3 players he signed today, honestly. I mean, but it's good help on the defensive line. I do not think we get D-Hop. Nope. Let's see. Talk like it's not live so Bridget doesn't hear your voice and know what I'm doing up here. Bridget, Buck up here watching me on the phone. I don't know what to say. Mediocre. I don't know. A guy with 7 sacks, I mean, he would have led our defensive line easily. He's a guy with a lot of talent. I don't know how to say he's mediocre. He's not the best defensive end that was a free agent. I mean, I liked Marcus Davenport more. I liked Arden Key more. I obviously liked Draymond Jones more at D tackle. I think she heard that. Buck's done, y'all. Buck's done. I'll probably turn it on in a minute. I want to keep this breaking news up here because it just broke. Demarcus Walker is a Chicago Bear. I was initially going live. He's 28 years old. Just turned 28. So he won't turn 29 until next year? Yes, sir. I think Dominique Robinson has a ton of potential. He's still very young. We still need more on the offense. We still need more on the offensive line as well. I think we need a 3-tech. I think the second round might be where that's at. There's a lot of guys in that second round range I like at defensive tackle. I doubt we trade for Tunzel. We have a lot of flexibility, though. There's still so many ways Poles can go with this. Even with those extra picks he acquired, he could trade a second-round pick next year for a player as well. No, I don't think we'll get D-Hop now. Not after getting DJ Moore. Nope, nope, nope. Bro, I've answered that question like 5 times. Don't make me time you out. My main Twitter got locked. Oh, bro, I've said way worse than that. I don't know how I've never got timed out. Let's see. Yeah, he's on the screen. We got that up on the screen right now. Demarcus Walker. Sorry, I was going through the spam right there. I was trying to see if there were any worthwhile comments. Yeah, it's a $7 million deal. Or 2 years, 14. I mean, it's a little bit of an investment, but it doesn't take a big chunk out of our cap. We should still have roughly 60 million in cap space. Yeah, tough guy just said it right there. Oh, I don't even know. There's a couple sleepers. Tier Tart, Sheldon Rankins. There's still some guys out there. You guys know Poles is good at this. Yeah, I think he's a defensive end. He could potentially play 3-tech. He is 280 pounds. I like Vanessa at 3-tech. I don't know about Bijan right now. We need a right tackle. We need a center. We need defensive end. We need defensive tackle. I think we have to sign a lot more players before we can start talking about that. Guys, I don't think we're getting D-Hop. What is this? Do I got to time everybody out that says that? All right, D-Hop. Fake D-Hoppers out here. Spamming my chat. Let's see. We have, no, I don't know who said we need a left tackle. I mean, we got Braxton Jones at left tackle. Who's left in free agency? Caleb McGarry is still out there. Possibly my top option at tackle. I see him spending at least 40 more million. 40 to 50 more. He's going to make more moves. He has to. Draymond Jones went to the Seahawks. The Bears were close. The Bears were close on it, but apparently he chose them over it. Or he chose the Seahawks over the Bears. Summer training camps are in July. We have mini camps in May, right after the draft. Isn't Orlando Brown? Orlando Brown is still out there as well. He wants to play left tackle. Yeah, that's with counting 20 million for the Rooks. Shut up, Buck. It's a 3-year deal. Okay, it popped up like right as I was hitting live. If someone's got the official deal on Walker, I didn't want to go to Twitter to find it because I mean, I'm streaming to you guys, so if someone has the official report, they signed him like literally as I was hitting the live button. I was hoping for some breaking news tonight. I was hoping that we had a chance to sign Draymond Jones while I was live. That did not happen. He went to Seattle minutes before. The Bears were in on him. He chose Seattle. I mean, sometimes, guys, it's not always down to money. I mean, 2 teams are going to offer you similar deals, and you choose the one you'd rather play with. Maybe you know a defensive line coach there, or You got family in that area. Who knows what it was? But Draymond is going to Seattle. I don't know the official cap number of his first year hit, but it's high. I believe it's like 17 million this year, 20 million next year, and then 17 the next 2 after that. Am I yelling? I don't feel like I'm yelling. I'm just trying to talk so you guys can hear me clearly. 16 quarterback hits. The Bears defense had 20 as a whole. I mean, there you go, Alpha. That's the best fact I've seen so far today. That's just killer right there. I mean, our defense had... No, this is my normal mic. This is the one I use for all my videos. I'm guessing at least 3,500 this year, Wiley. Maybe another move on the defensive line. I could see someone like Samson Ebukon, Charles Omenihu. I could also see us signing a right tackle. Yeah, Draymond did as well. I mean, it's true. Yep, that's the breaking news, guys. That happened just as we were going live. Arden Key's still out there as well. That's a good one, Q. I like Arden Key a lot. We do got our first defensive lineman, though, Demarcus Walker. That's 4 moves on the day for Ryan Poles. Oh, I wanted to enter. How do I put a poll out here? I wanted to see. How do I change this? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make a poll. I want to see who your guys' favorite free agent signing was. How does it let me do a third? Dang, it doesn't let me. All right, we'll figure out which linebacker you guys liked better first. There's the first poll. Tell me if you like Tremaine Edmonds better or TJ Edwards. I love Nate Davis. I think Nate Davis is a stud. Wait, hold on. Let me check what I miss here. Yannick's still out there. I like Yannick Ngakoue. He'd be a great sign. That's what I said. People are panicking right now. We still have a lot of money left, and he signed 4 players already. There's a lot of teams out there that haven't made a single move yet, and Poles has signed 4 players already. Edwards is definitely a steal of a deal, but I love Tremaine Edmonds. That guy's an athletic freak. In my opinion, he's the best coverage linebacker in the NFL. I can't wait to do his all-22. I've already watched a game of him. It's insane. He's crazy. Yeah, we signed... The deal we got on Edwards was kind of crazy. When I saw the numbers, I saw we signed TJ Edwards. I was expecting it to be more like what Bobby Okereke got, which was like $10 million a year. We got him for $6.5 million a year. That's literally around half of what he was projected for. We got him for 3 years. There's also an out after the first year. Like, kind of crazy. Like, nah, Robbie Gould's a bit too old, guys. I don't know about Robbie Gould. I'd take Matt Gay, though, for real. Yeah, TJ Edwards, that's one of the things they love. They want guys who want to be Bears, and he wants to be a Bear. He grew up a Bears fan. Odds to sign Orlando Brown, I'd say less than 50%. I honestly don't know. If Poles can talk him into playing right tackle, or, I mean, even if he gets him to left tackle, and then Braxton Jones goes to right tackle and maybe even brings in someone to compete, it's going to cost a lot of money. That would eat up a big chunk. I almost think he's going to go for value, and we may end up taking a right tackle at number 9. There's a couple good options at tackle at number 9. It might have been when I turned for a second. My cat was jumping up on my lap, so okay, you guys can hear me fine? Okay. Has Rodgers, is that official yet? I haven't checked any news since I've been live, so. Tevin Jenkins, I think it's possible. I think it's more possible that Cody Whitehair. Sometimes I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think how to word things, okay? This is a live video, so this is how I record my videos too. But I edit out all the space in between. But where was I going with that? Skoronski. I do love Skoronski. I think Tevin can play right tackle, but I also think he's so good at right guard that you leave him at right guard. You put Nate Davis at left guard. You have two awesome guards. You got Lucas Patrick at center. I say you definitely draft a center this year. One of those picks, we have 3 picks within 10 spots, late second round to third round. I think you get a center there and a couple defensive linemen. And then the first round, depending on how the rest of this free agency goes, first round picks got to be a right tackle or a defensive tackle. I like Brian Brzee. He didn't kill the combine like I expected, to be honest. He's always supposed to have been more athletic. If we build the O-line. Well, that's what we're trying to do, Cheetah. We have about 43 million roughly in cap space left right now. Tevin did play tackle in college. His arms aren't as long as Ryan Poles usually likes. I know. Who's trying to be a mod? I might have to get some mods tonight. You guys can time out the spammers. I'm getting a lot of spam tonight. It's making me stop talking. I gotta keep timing people out over here. Oh man, we all got an extra 20. Yeah, we got plenty of money this year. It's good. I just don't know about Orlando Brown. Like, that's tough. Brian, you mean, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I think you mean right guard, though, not right tackle. He's played right guard in the NFL. Let me see. I got one right there. I love the Edmonds signing. How do you see our running back situation playing out? Ooh. I think we draft somebody, honestly. Let's see here. Wiley. Let Jones and Browns go. Really? You want to draft JSN? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. All right, I added 2 new moderators there. Only time people out if they're spamming. Don't ban anybody. Would you give Treston Ebner a shot? I would let him compete. It would not stop me from drafting another guy. Maybe signing another guy as an undrafted free agent as well. Bijan is my guilty pleasure too. I mean, I can't even lie about it. I love Bijan. I just don't know if it happens. I know you're in there hiding, aren't you, Buck? Buck's wife tried to make him stop watching, so he turned on the shower. And then she tried to come in, so he probably hopped in the shower. Yo, thank you so much, John. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Alex Leatherwood, he's got to compete. He's got to get better, honestly. Man, I love Devin Witherspoon. I think anybody who watched that video, my Ryan Poles Blue Chips, you could tell I really love Devin Witherspoon. I don't know if I want to take a corner that high. Austin Eckler to Chicago. People have been saying that today. I don't know about that. I love Witherspoon. I just don't know if we can afford to take a corner in the first round unless he would have to add a right tackle and 2 more defensive linemen, I think. I like Eckler. I don't know if you trade for him, though. He wants a contract extension. That's the thing. So if we trade for Eckler, you got to give up a draft pick, and then you got to re-sign him as well. Alex, I would trade back. I mean, if a team is offering you picks, I'd move down all the way to the end of the first round, honestly. I would definitely understand if they took Witherspoon. Like, I wouldn't be mad. He's too good. I think Tyree Wilson, Buck's saying it right here. Tyree is if he's on the board, Tyree's probably the guy. If Jalen Carter's there, he might be the guy. Lucas Van Ness could be the guy. My favorite signing's Tremaine Edmonds. I love Tremaine Edmonds. He's obviously an all-pro talent. Okay, welcome, kid. Welcome, kid. What was your old name? I don't know. I don't understand the Van Ness hate. I love Lucas Van Ness, man. He looks awesome. I think Whitehair probably gets cut, but I don't know. I'm not for sure on that one. Do you resign Mooney? I would bring them both back. Honestly, I think they both should come back. Build chemistry. All Fields, Kmet, Mooney, Claypool, DJ Moore. They're all between the ages of 24 and 26. They're all young, talented, gifted, athletic. I would re-sign Mooney and Claypool. Let's run those likes up, Wiley said. Let's get it. I appreciate you, Wiley, my man, my man. Mick Kringleberry. What do you guys think? What is the vote? It looks like more people like Edmonds. I like it. 72% Edmonds. I thought more people might like TJ Edwards because of the value. No, we do not draft a center at 9. We could draft Skoronski at 9. Play him at right tackle or guard, but no, center in the second round. One of those 3 picks, there's 3 to 5 centers that can come in and start day 1. I love them. I don't know about Siamalu anymore, just because we got 2 guards now. I don't know if we need another guard. Would love to get Carter. If Jalen Carter's there at 9, I do like Demarcus Walker. I mean, he's not one of my favorite defensive ends, but I like Demarcus Walker. He had almost as many pressures as our entire team last year. That's a good idea too. I mean, there's still 2 solid right tackles out there that I'd be very happy with. Caleb McGarry's out there. Orlando Brown's out there. Jenkins, I addressed that a little bit. I think he could, but I think you leave him at right guard. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We want better players. Every player doesn't have to be a star. Not every player that comes in is going to be a star. I think Tyree can fall to us at 9, but I'd put it at like 30%. Nothing's guaranteed in the draft. Yo, Super Bears, welcome, brother. Appreciate you being the new member, man. It's also possible, I think, with us missing out on Draymond Jones, maybe we go after Orlando Brown or Caleb McGarry now. I don't know if Demarcus Walker was the big coup. We might have been going after him anyway. But we still got the money to spend that they were going to spend on Draymond Jones. How much would I pay Orlando? I don't know, man. That's tough. Wait, is that true? Holy. Any chance we get both? Both tackles? No. Definitely not. I think if Yo, Doug, hey, thanks so much for the super chat, brother. If Carter Anderson or Tyree Wilson is there at 9, that's true. I think if one of those 3 is there, he's definitely pulling the trigger. I think other guys, he could go right tackle. If we don't get a right tackle yet, I think he has to take a right tackle in the first round. There's almost no... I think it's very low odds that we'll be able to get a starting right tackle in the second round. Unless he pulls magic off like he did with Braxton Jones again. Yo, Kevin, thanks so much, man. Predict Bears' first interception and sack. I'd go with Tremaine Edmonds. He's got more turnover potential. Taylor Lewan, I don't think he's an option. Let's get those likes up, y'all. Let's see. Do we need to... Oh, I do like Clancy. I do like Clancy as well. Or Kalijah Cansey. You guys are bringing up a ton of good names. That's the thing. There's a ton of players out there that can still upgrade this team. Defensive line. There's a few defensive ends out there. There's a couple defensive tackles. We still got one of my favorite right tackles. Ooh. What are McGarry's arm lengths? I thought I discussed McGarry's arm length. I didn't. Let me double fact check that. Oh. Well, no, he's right at 33 inches. I mean, McGarry's right there, but you're right. Maybe he's not going after McGarry due to the arms. I see Lucas Patrick coming back at center. I see him being the starter early in the year, or he gets beat out by a rookie. I think he's going to be the guy, but we're going to have a rookie behind him. I love Zach Harrison. That's a good one. James Bradbury's still out there. James Bradbury had an incredible RAS score, too. Ooh, I don't know if Van Ness drops that far. I think he goes top 15. Yeah, very true, Ben. That's what I'm saying. I don't expect that to happen. I think that's one of those things that Poles pulled off that he's proud of, but you can't just expect that to happen again. Like, that's possibly a one-time thing. Yo, I appreciate you, Buck. Yo, nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love, man. Let me see here. Favorite small school prospect? Ooh, Aubrey Miller, linebacker from Jackson State. Jenkins is 100%. He's been working out recently. He's been at Hallis Hall working, so I'm pretty sure he's good. I'm pretty sure he's 100%. I can't 100% guarantee it, but I did see him doing some Pilates on Instagram or something. It was shared on Twitter. Somebody tagged me in something of him doing Pilates with Braxton Jones and Jatari Carter. So he looked okay. I don't... How do I answer this one? I think Monty has a chance to come back, but I'd put it at low percentage right now. Yeah, it's very... I mean, yeah, that's all it takes. If the arms are a little short, you can... And Poles loves those long arms. That's one of the things. A lot of the guys that we've had in the past, the GMs, they haven't cared as much about the arm length. Whereas that's a huge thing for Ryan Poles. He needs those long arms. Like, that's not... I'm just saying, he needs them. I would love to get JMS. I also think Tippmann could be there. Oluwatimi. There's Steve Avila can play center or guard, so he's a great one as well. I like that, Chad. I love both those guys. I like Adebwari as well. Cap space left is around $43 million. I don't think DeJuan Jones falls. I also don't know if he fits Ryan Poles' profile. He might be a little bit too big. Frank Clark. I do not think Frank Clark has been signed either. I've never thought we were going to get a center. I know a lot of people really liked Pochik. I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, he's staying in Cleveland. I wasn't a big fan of him. I think Leonard Floyd would be good on a team-friendly deal. Ooh, really? Multiple sources, including the score, that the Bears have been in a bidding war with the Bengals for Orlando Brown. That could be another one, I think, that comes down to it. He might go with the Bengals just because, I mean, they're a Super Bowl contender easy. So how do you pass that up? That's tough. Obviously, as a Bear fan, I'm going to say I would rather he joins the Bears, but man, that's a tough one. You know there's got to be a good chance he goes with the Bengals there. If that's what it really comes down to. All right. We had the breaking news on Demarcus Walker. Now it's time to just go live and chat for a little bit. Let me... We'll pop the cam on. Oh, I don't have this on right, do I? Whoop. What's up, everybody? Good to see Swifty now. Give me your questions. Let's hit it. Let's go. Tell me who you guys are most excited about today. We just beat the Bengals? Listen. I thought he meant on the deal. I thought Orlando Brown was coming here for a second. Listen, don't fake me with news, guys, okay? Edmonds is definitely my favorite signing of the day. The guy's a stud. He's one of the most athletic linebackers in the league. He can run with wide receivers. He can shut down running backs. He can cover tight ends. He can blitz. He can stop the run. I love Tremaine Edmonds. Like, he was one of my favorite linebackers in the league when he was at Virginia Tech. He plays like a safety. Mark Ross predicted Orlando Brown to the Bears. I mean, I'm all for it. I'd be really interested to know where he's going to play. Like, will he play right tackle or does he have to play left tackle? That's tough to me. I need to know the answer to that one. Yeah, don't Trey Wingo us. Let's see, day 3 sleepers. The guy I mentioned, I think linebacker. I really thought we were going to get a day 3 sleeper at linebacker. I like Tevin Jenkins everywhere, but I love him at right guard. Yeah, I wanted Tremaine Edmonds in the draft as well. He is... Penguin, if you're trolling, you Viking fan, I don't trust it for a second. He's a Viking fan. I don't trust it. Yo, let me see. The other linebacker from oh, you're talking about Jack Campbell. Yeah, I like Jack Campbell. I think he's going to go too high. I think Jack Campbell's probably going to be a second rounder. No, I don't trust Penguin at all right now. There's no trust on Penguin. I am gonna check Twitter though. Hold on. And nope, my girl didn't message me. Nobody messaged me on Twitter. Okay. All right, no, we're good. We're good. I had to double check, okay? Yeah, I like Aubrey Miller. I like Isaiah Land. Cody Mausch is going to go a little high. He's not a day 3 guy. Day 3 guys, possibly KJ Henry. Nick Broker, the guard. Nick Saldiveri on the offensive line. Oluwatimi might go in the day 3. Laremy Tunzel. Yeah, Tunzel's good. I don't know if I want to trade for him, though. Riley Moss is a killer. I think the Bears can be a playoff team. We still need some pieces, guys. Like, right now, I can see the vision that Poles has, and I think we can be a playoff team this year if he finishes the plan up. We need a right tackle. If we don't get a right tackle in free agency, then we have to take a tackle at number 9, I think. I don't think we can wait and try to get a tackle in the second round. I just don't think that's it. Okay, report is 3 years, $21 million for Demarcus Walker. Okay. 3 years, 21. So $7 million a year, not bad. Even with Walker getting real nervous about the D-line, are we going back to Ogunjobi? D-tackle, I'm not as worried about, honestly, because, yeah, I like Samson Ebukam. I like Ebukam. The reason I'm not as worried about defensive tackle is because there's like, I don't know, 5 to 10 guys that I love in the draft that we could take in the second round potentially, or even the first round that can play D-tackle. I love Mozzie Smith. I love Keanu Benton. I love Adebawore. I love Tyree Wilson. I love Van Ness. I love Kalijah Cansey. There's a lot of guys there I love. Same with center. Like Perinsky's asking here. John Michael Schmitz, Oluwatimi, Tipman, There's a lot of guys there, 5 to 7 centers that we can get in the second or third round range that can come in and start. I think we should easily be able to get 4 starters from the draft. Our picks in day 1 and day 2, I think all those should be starters. Possibly 5, but I think the 5th guy, hopefully we have enough depth that the 5th guy doesn't have to come in and be a starter. Luke Whippler's one as well. I don't like him as much as some of the other guys, but I do think he's good. Ooh, I think a couple of them will, Kiyu. There's too many players. Yeah, Sanborn's going to be our Sam. I love John Michael Schmitz. Paris Johnson in the first round looks like it could be a good option, guys. Like, it just does. If we don't get a right tackle in free agency, that's the only thing I think would be a must. Like, we're going to have to take a right tackle at number 9. I think defensive tackle, defensive end, center, all 3 of those you can get in the second round. We cannot get a right tackle in the second round unless someone falls. Like Darnell Wright, you can probably get there in mock drafts and stuff if you guys are doing mock draft simulators. He's not falling to the second round in April's draft. I just know it hasn't. Brand new Detroit. Is that Don? What's up, Don Burr? Good to see you, my man. Yeah, Darnell Wright's not falling to us in the second. It's just not happened. He's been too good. Yeah, Shorty, I think Davis is going to play left guard. He's versatile. He played all over the line in college. He's played mostly right guard for the Titans, but I think he can play left guard. We had a new signing. Here, let me put it up on the board real quick over my face. Boom. New defensive lineman, Demarcus Walker. He signed for 3 years, $21 million. I think Kramer's a little small, but there's a chance. He's got to get better. Musty's brother, PJ Mustipher, he's a run-stopping defensive tackle. I like him. Let's see. Lions seem to want Carter. I hope not. One of those two. It depends. If we don't get a right tackle in free agency, I think that's my biggest takeaway from today, is that we haven't got that right tackle in free agency yet. So if we don't get a right tackle in free agency, we almost have to draft him at 9. I think we can get those other positions. I believe we can still get in the second round. When it comes to right tackle, I don't think so. How much cap space? He can work things out. You know, the cap's fluid. We still got plenty of space right now. If we got someone like Orlando Brown, things would tighten up a little bit. I hope not, James. I don't want to see us move up. I'd rather move down again. I'd like to see Paris Johnson at 9. I think Skoronski or Broderick Jones could go as well. I do think Miles Murphy could be a dark horse pick. He's definitely good. Do we take OT and center with 2 of our first 4 picks? Very likely, especially if we don't get a right tackle in free agency. Devin, I love. I mean, he's a great player, but right now, King Poles. I keep waiting for someone to break news that we signed somebody else. I'm like, don't do it. I don't know. I like McGarry. After McGarry, I don't know if there's any surefire starting options out there. Obviously, Poles, if he signs someone, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, Orlando Brown's still out there. McGarry's still out there. Arden Key's still out there. Yannick Ngakoku's still out there. There's still a lot of good players in free agency. It's been one crazy day. He signed 4 players already. 3 on defense. You got to like that. After adding DJ Moore on offense, he came and added another athletic guard on offensive line, and then has added 3 players on defense so far. I kind of expected more moves in the trenches, but I won't be mad because what I expect to happen with the way he's attacking this offseason is he's going to draft in the trenches. He's going to draft O-line, he's going to draft D-line, and this is a good draft for it. I mean, this is a really good draft for it. So hey, Stacks, you should be excited, brother. You should be, man. I mean, there's too much here. Let me see. Zone guard. 35. Hey, that wouldn't be a bad trade down. That wouldn't be a bad trade down. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Running back, there's a potential in the second round. There's a potential in the second round. Right now I'm just reading chat, Jordan. It's too much to keep up with chat right now, bro. There's so much going on here. The moves in the trenches just didn't pan out. Yeah, we went for Draymond Jones. There's still some right tackle options open, though. There's still some right tackle options open for sure. I love Avila. I think if we could get Avila, that would be awesome. Let's see. Hey, Super Bears, man. You nailed it right there. I got some trust in Ryan Poles. I think at this point, he's earned it. He's earned this trust. He's just absolutely killing this offseason so far. I still am in shock that we got DJ Moore. But those three options we have, those three picks we have from 50 to 64, those guys are probably 3 starters. Plus our top 10 pick. So that's 4 guys that are potential starters coming in soon that we haven't even factored into the equation yet. Who was the guy that said free agent running backs never hit? I don't know, but I know. You got me speed reading out here, guys. I don't know. Some of the guys from last year may still pop off. It's true. Yeah, we still got some potential from last year. We still got Alex Leatherwood. My favorite second round running back. If Gibbs falls to the second round from Alabama, it's him. I love Mozzie Smith. Athletic freak. He's the definition of athletic freak. Like, no joke. Yeah, DJ Moore is easily better than any wide receiver in this draft. Let's see. I like Spears. I don't think he's a second rounder, though. He's probably a day 3 pick. Best DT left. I would probably say draft, man. I honestly think we got to go defensive tackle in the draft. He's probably going to sign somebody on the level of Demarcus Walker. You know, he's going to bring in somebody that's good, but not somebody that absolutely breaks the bank. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Hey, yo, run those likes up. What are likes at? Dalvin Tomlinson? It wouldn't be bad, man, because he can play the nose, and then you can draft a 3-tech. Eberflus is going hard on this draft, so you find somebody he loves in the draft. Bro, on Adderall. I'm not on Adderall. I do have really good hand-eye coordination, and I streamed on Twitch for years, so, I mean, I got used to reading chat, man. Yeah, I am, Jordan. I can run through these. I love Anton Harrison. I don't know. Kalijah Cansey at 9. Maybe if his arms were a little bit longer. Tyree Wilson can play the 3-tech, though. Yeah, hey, tell him. What early right tackles? Broderick Jones and Paris Johnson Jr. Both of those guys. Yo, ask Jordan. Jordan in the chat, tell him. Finesse can play 3-tech. I think he might be better at edge, but I think he could be a 3-tech as well. This draft could be all about the trenches. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Man, I can barely read the chats right now, Jordan. I'm trying to just talk with these guys right now. Paris Johnson, I love him. If Skoronski's arms were longer, I would almost, he'd be one of my favorite players in the draft, but they're just not there yet. Hey, I did not know he only played 37% of the snaps. I haven't dug into Demarcus Walker yet. I will overnight. If Mozzie's there with our first pick of the 3rd round, snag him up. Snag him up. I mean, I would still Skoronski could play center, though. He could play guard. Like, he could, if he agreed to move to center, I don't know if he could do it. I mean, I think he could play anywhere on the line, so I think he can. I don't know. I like Skoronski. I think he could play anywhere. I'm not willing to trade up. I'm not giving up anything. I'm not trading up in the top 10. If Carter's there, I take him. If Tyree Wilson is there, I take him. After that, things open up a little bit, in my opinion. Let's see. I think Vanessa has some bend. Avila can definitely play center. Schmitz and Tippmann and Avila, Oluwatimi. There's a lot of centers here. Skoronski, he does remind me a lot of Zach Martin. Yeah, no trading up. I would love Yannick Ngakoue or Arden Key. Either one would be awesome. Kareem Hunt wouldn't be bad. Trading down and getting Will McDonald would be awesome. Patterson is probably a day 3 guy. I like him, though. What's up, Ragin? How you been, my man? Yeah, no trading up. Carter, Wilson, or Paris Johnson. Those might be my top 3 right now, honestly. You nailed it right there, brother. That's a good one. I don't know about Ogunjobi. Carter's 28. I mean, he's in his prime. I mean, he's not old. He only signed a 3-year deal, so he'll be 30, 31 when he leaves. So the new stadium. Ooh, what makes you think that? I don't know about the Lions. I'm scared they take Jalen Carter. I don't want him to take Jalen Carter. I would maybe trade up in the 2nd round. Maybe. Not in the 1st, though. Hey, Nolan Smith is a guy. Hey, if we trade down, Nolan Smith's awesome. Hold up, I'm getting to the super chat. I love Zach Harrison. How you going to agree, Tyree Wilson? And hey, I love both those guys, J-Rock. I love them, man. Yo, the Duke. Hey, again, Tyree Wilson or Paris Johnson. If we're picking at 9. Ooh, if we're picking at 9 and they're both there. If we don't have a right tackle yet, I'd probably have to go Paris Johnson. And then grab Adebawore or Keanu Benton in the 2nd round. Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. We got about $50 million in cap space. About 43 now after Walker. I do not want Leno back. Let's see. Cansey. I like Cansey. A lot of Cansey there. 40 million. I think it's a little bit over 40. Don't overlook Nomad's guy, Carter Wilson, for left or right tackle. Carter Warren. Okay. Jenkins can be a right tackle. I think he could, but he was so good at right guard. And one thing that Getsy has talked about a lot is how in his system he really likes having good athletic guards. And he's even said, words out of his mouth, guards are more important than tackle in this system. So having Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis, that's what's up. We need 13 million. Yeah, some of that as far as draft picks. I love Bijan. I just right now we got too many holes for Bijan, man. I think Davis can play left guard easily, though. He played all over the line in college. Just because he's played right guard in the pros doesn't mean. I think that might be one of the reasons they got him is he's versatile. So he played tackle in college. I think he can play left guard. Yeah, I think Sanborn's a starter, but it's Sam, so more of a part-time starter. He's not on the field as much, but he will be the backup for T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Best pass rusher available. That'd be nice. We can still get pass rusher in free agency, though. We can still get a right tackle in free agency. I expect one of those to be done. And then the other one we'll probably have to address in the 1st round. Khalil Herbert's a stud. We need another running back, but we can draft a running back in the 5th round and be fine. Musty's a free agent. He's not our starter. Musty is not a starter. I think Lucas Patrick is going to compete with a rookie. Oh, nobody's giving us nothing for Lucas Patrick. That's not happening. Yeah, I love McGarry. Yeah, we signed Demarcus Walker 3 years, $21 million. He had 7 sacks last year. More pressures than our team. You're crazy if you don't think Khalil Herbert is good. He was in top 5 in the league in yards after contact, yards before contact. He was better than Monty. He had an insane year in this new system. Hey, put some respect on Khalil Herbert's name. That guy's a baller. I love Monty too, but he's a baller. I don't think we're that far away from being a contender. Maybe a year. I think we're going to be good this year. I like Leonard Floyd. You got to check the advanced stats. Watch some tape. Herbert, they played on the same team last year. Herbert and Monty were in the same backfield, and Khalil Herbert outperformed Monty in every aspect of the game except pass blocking and catching out of the backfield. But as far as running the ball, if you're talking about just running the ball, Khalil Herbert was way better last year. I'm sorry. Khalil Herbert was just better. I love Khalil Herbert. We need a better pass blocker, obviously, but Herbert was better. I can't take the Herbert slander in here, guys. Let's see. Hopefully defensive end or right tackle. If you think Herbert better, you drunk? Hey, I'm just drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm definitely not drunk. You guys do I need to pull up a stat on Herbert? Hold up. I got a stat here. Hold up. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Do I need to pull it up? No, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep speed reading through chat. That's gonna take me too long. Hold on. But hey, don't diss Monty. I mean, I love Monty, but Herbert's a beast. I like McGarry more than Orlando Brown. Short yardage runs. Khalil Herbert was much better than Monty this season. Even in short yardage runs. Even in yards after contact. Even in broken tackles. He was all over the place. Okay. Let's see here. How do you feel about Bijan at number 9? We have too many holes. Too many holes right now. Hey, no, he can block, but hey, Monty's a much better blocker. Monty's much better blocker. I like Deuce Vaughn. Get this man some more super chats. Hey, I don't beg for those, bro. That's not me. I like Tank. Hey, Tank's good. J-Rock, I'm still here. Oh, did I miss what J-Rock said? Let's see. Couldn't get on the show. So, no, Jordan's he chatted right before you, bro. Look at that. Oh man, let me see. Well, I talked to Jordan earlier today about being on the show. There's so many chats right now. I'm trying to if Jalen's there, that's no brainer, man. Herbert's awesome. Deuce Vaughn, yeah, he's a lot like Tariq Cohen. Yo, my boy Tim, gifting 5 Swift Sports memberships. My boy, Herbert's awesome, man. I appreciate you, brother. Any ISU Redbirds in the draft? Not that I saw. Yo, what's up, mijo? Huge day, man. Huge day. It's been crazy, man. I can't wait to see DJ Moore either, man. I would also, you know what? If you can get another second-round pick, I'd do it. Nah, man, I appreciate it. I'm engaging with my fans right now, man. Doing it for free. I mean, I can run an ad. What do you think about Austin Eckler? He's helped me win a lot of fantasy championships. He's helped me. What am I going to do when I have 4th? I'm probably going to miss a lot more chats, bro. Obviously. Hey, yeah. Hey, Jordan Silvera broke the TJ Edwards news to me this morning, man. Hours before it came out. It helped me get my video out sooner, which is why I was able to have Jordan on there and talk about him. Because he got the news to me early. I was able to get that video out pretty timely. I know. We were in on it too, man. Wait a minute. Oh, 2 super chats. Timeout. If Jalen Carter goes to the Lions, I'm going to get violently ill on draft night. I'm hoping they go cornerback since they missed out on Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, hey, look, when there's this many chats, yeah. If you super chat, I'm definitely going to read it. Swift, will and where do you think Fields will rank on the NFL Network's top 100 players this year? Can I say number 1? Honestly, I think his upside's top 10 this year. Hopefully top 20. Yo, J.A., what if we get Derrick Henry? Man, he'd be awesome. I don't want to give up a bunch for him. Yo, Willow, thanks for the super chat, bro. Bearhead. Hey, I love you, Blue. What I saw Jordan here. Blind squirrel found a nut this morning. Appreciate the super chats, Duke and Robert Lee, my guys. I love Van Ness, man. I have no idea, Q. I'm not sure, man. No, hey, no. It was just a guess, bro. We were just guessing. We were just kidding. I put 50 on him. I put 10 on Fields to be MVP. I think I did last year too, though, but I just want to beat the Packers next year. Hey, Mr. Inglewood, I don't know a Bears fan out there that doesn't want to beat the Packers. Got info on Vanessa? I might have to bring you on before I end so you can break. If you want to break it, that's up to you. Or is this secret stuff? I don't know. Oh, can't. Okay. Got it. Shh. I don't know anything about Lucas Van Ness then. Ever. Let's see. Cam Sutton. Yeah, you know what? That's a tough one. I hadn't thought about that yet, Traveler. Them getting Cam Sutton, it possibly does limit the chances that they take a corner at 6, which is what I wanted them to do. I have no idea what Aaron Rodgers is doing. I think the Packers are going to suck with Jordan Love, but we'll see, you know. Are we out of the running for McGarry? I don't know. I haven't heard anything connecting us to McGarry yet. I love Chase Young. Let's see if Darnell Washington fell to us at 54. I'm sprint. Hey, you know what? At 54, I think Darnell goes higher than that, but if he's there at 54, you can't outsmoke Eddie. Eddie, you gotta calm down, bro. What are you talking about? What's up, Eddie? Big shout out to my guy Eddie. Probably sitting on the couch with his girlfriend, just smoking and watching me on the TV. Am I on the big screen? Oh, snap. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, hey, that's what we're looking for. Packers run to come to an end. Yeah, the Bears are going to make more moves. I don't know if they're going to make more moves tonight. Yo, hey, Andy, appreciate you, brother. Much appreciated always, man. That's my guy right there. Shout out to Andy. Nobody knows what Hey, I don't even think Rodgers knows what he's doing, okay? Hey, get it, Doug. That's what I'm talking about. FGB, everybody. You still think it's possible we get JSN? Possible, yes. I think on offense, you can never have too much weapons. Let me give you the reason why we could. Because you can never have too many weapons. Obviously, the Fields connection. And then Claypool and Mooney both on the last year of their contract. I can't rule it out. But most likely, I would say not. We need to go to the trenches with that pick, in my opinion. If he doesn't go to the trenches, it'll probably be a cornerback. But I love JSN. I don't think we're letting Claypool go. I don't think it's possible. I think Mooney has a down year, maybe. I honestly think Mooney and Claypool will both be back. I'm on the big 75-incher. Hey, Mom. Trade down with the Commander. Hey, you know what? I've thought about that. I'm not sure if Walker can play 3-tech. I'm going to have to watch more tape on him. Who will be our D-line, D-tackles? Right now, just Justin Jones and Demarcus Walker. What can't draft a running back, but can draft a wide receiver? I mean, I didn't rule out Bijan either. But he's not, just like JSN, he's not likely. We definitely need a tight end. It's a really good draft for tight ends. We need a tight end. Someone said they got a source right here. The Bijan's going to be the pick. Listen, man of God, Rob, if we pick Bijan, I don't think we do a free agent tight end. I think we draft a tight end. Missing link, I've done full videos on 3 of the 4. As far as Demarcus Walker, the excitement level isn't as high, but he's a much needed upgrade on our defensive line. He had as many or more pressures than our entire defensive line last year. He had 7 sacks. It's a good signing. 3 years, $21 million. Dalton Kincaid is a beast. I love Mooney. I don't think Mooney's going anywhere either. I don't know what that is, but that's a super chat. Hey, appreciate you. The players are definitely in play for the Bears. Half the league makes the playoffs. Yes, sir. Hey, a team goes from worst to first almost every single year in their division. Look at the Bears division, okay? Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and the Vikings, who just cut a bunch of players and have Kirk Cousins. The Bears got the best wide receiver core in the NFC North now. The Vikings have the best receiver. He donated yen. That's what that is. Hey, I appreciate the 500 yen. I have no idea how much American that is, but I appreciate it. D-Rob is still going to be a situational pass rusher. Flus always rotates defensive linemen. So we need 4 defensive ends, 4 defensive tackles. $5 or $2.50, 39 cents. That's what I'm talking about. I love you guys. I think Chase. Hey, I like Chase Brown. Thielen, no. I don't think Thielen's a fit. Not DJ Chark either. I don't know. We're not taking Anthony Richardson at 9. Yo, for real, you guys cannot write us off yet this year. I don't think that's Tom Brady to the Astros. Is that what I just saw? See, here's the thing with that. A lot of people have Lance Briggs actually, because someone reported that Edmonds is the will, and Lance Briggs said no, Edmonds is the Mike. Here's the thing. Eberflus loves his Mike and Will to be interchangeable. He likes the offense to not be able to identify the Mike. So I believe at times they're both going to play the Mike and the Will. They're kind of interchangeable linebackers. So they can both play the Mike, both play the Will. Yo, man of God, Rob, thanks for the $4.99, brother. No question with that. If I see a question from you, I'll try to get it up. Is that Yo Quint? Yo Quint? I don't know how to say your name. I'll call you Joe. My man Gonzalez. I hope we make Hard Knocks too. I think it'll be fun. Oh, am I losing my voice? He's 6'5", 250, but he runs like a 4.4. Yeah, I mean, Flus likes them interchangeable. I like Flus. Yeah, I love Flus. Only coach I've ever seen in my lifetime write up a scouting report for every free agent and every potential draft pick. I asked former Bears player Kellen Davis the other day on this podcast I was on. I asked Kellen, in your time in the NFL, did you ever see a coach do that? Or have you ever even heard of a coach doing that? He said, nope. I love Flus. Probably 4 or 5, Justin. Poles is not done in free agency. We still have a lot of cap space left. Basically, Sanborn's going to be a backup. He's going to be the starting Sam, but they don't play a lot. But he'll be the main backup to both of these linebackers. True. I'm trading back. Hey. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. My first 5 picks are Harrison Avila, Adebaware, Laporta, and Tippmann. Ooh. I love all of those, actually. None of those are first-round picks, though. Oh, you're trading back in the 20s. Okay. So you're taking Zach Harrison in the 20s? Joey Porter Jr. Love him, but probably not. Edmonds is the best coverage linebacker in the entire NFL. For real. Is Christian Gonzalez a future spot? Like a chance to be a corner? Maybe. He's going to be a stud. Or future star, maybe you meant? Yeah, we play a 4-3 defense. I don't think Whitehair plays center. Don't be stingy with the likes. I love Witherspoon at 9. Tomlinson for nickel would be good. Whitehair, I believe, will get cut, actually. Let's see. Oh, Anton Harrison from... Oh, okay. The tackle from Oklahoma. That's a good pick in the 20s. I like that. I thought you were talking about Zach Harrison. No, I honestly, you're right. I need a couple more drinks. I'm talking and not drinking. Not only that, Culture, these two linebackers are killer in coverage. Our secondary that's already elite, we're going to be even better in pass defense now. Yeah, I think Whitehair could be cut. I like Anton Harrison a lot. Santos better give up that number 2 because I need the 1-2 connection with Justin Fields and DJ Moore. Honestly, I'd cut Santos if he even balks at giving up the number 2. I'd be like, what'd you say? Kyler Gordon's the nickel. Edmonds could really play like an Urlacher, but I think he's going to play like a Briggs at times too. I think he's going to play the Will sometimes. That's just a gut feeling, but the way Eberflus has talked about how he likes the position to be interchangeable. What you say, I'm dead. I don't know what I say. I've said a lot of stuff. I'm reading so many chats here. Polls could get I don't like the 1-year deals that much. You want guys that buy in and want to be here long term. That's a guy just looking for a paycheck. I like Matt Gay at kicker. N'Keal Harry I want to bring back. I love Lucas Van Ness. Walker's good. He's not great. You think it's a great signing? Foster, do you have any reason? I mean, I'm going to watch tape on him. You know it. But any reasoning for that one? Yeah, Davenport went already. Duke! All right, you guys got to wait. Duke with a $20 super chat. Let's see. Let's be honest. Is there a team with a better chance at number 1 overall next year than the Panthers? No. No guarantees, but they got to be projected to be close to the worst team in the NFL. Exactly. Hey, Duke, tell him, brother. Tell him, brother. Hey, good night, man. Duke, much love, man. Appreciate it, everybody. Let's see. Hey, Cubs fan, welcome. Level 2, brother. Welcome on in here, man. Who else I got here? I do think they could take a quarterback late. I do think so. I like DTR. I like Clayton Tune. A couple guys down there. Tomlinson went to the Browns. Hey, thanks for the reports, guys. Appreciate that. I like Tomlinson. Dang. No, we already knew about Walker. Yeah, that's about an hour late. We knew about that one. Let me see. Davlin Tomlinson's new, though. Marvin Harrison Jr., we want you. For some reason, the mock drafts have Malik Cunningham available in the 7th. If Malik Cunningham's there in the 6th, I'd take him. He's Lamar Jackson-esque. I mean, craziness. Thule, you think Thule would be a good 3-tech? I need to watch more tape on Thule. I've honestly slept on Thule a lot. I wasn't a huge fan. I'm just usually not a USC guy. I love BJ Ojulari. That dude's a beast. I'll watch more tape on him, Jonathan. I appreciate that. I've been meaning to. I just haven't yet. He's a guy I've slept. I just haven't been as high on. Eddie's got his. You know what he's got. No. Yeah. Jack Campbell's probably not coming here. That's a good point, Mijo. Let's see. No Clowney. Right now, the offense. I say the offense is more ready to go than the defense. At least have Leatherwood at right tackle. The defense needs more. Defense needs more on that line right now. It needs more. It's not ready to compete. It's very possible. I don't know what they do at right tackle yet, but if we don't get one in free agency, I've been saying that all night, it's a must. If we don't get one in free agency, it's got to happen at number 9. I just don't. You can't have Poles put faith he's going to find another late round starter at tackle. Yeah, I just don't think the chances are high, Gino. I do think I love Isaiah Foskey. He needs to bulk up. He needs to get in the weight room. I think he's going to be a day 2 guy. Maybe day 3 guy. I don't think there's going to be a tackle there in the 2nd round that's worth taking. Especially not a guy that you know can come in and start right away. It's just not there. It just, I mean, I think Darnell Wright's probably the last guy that you can say has a chance to come in and start right away. After his combine performance, he's not going to be there late in the second. Just not happening. Late DTs. I like Ojimo from Texas. I like the other guy from Texas as well. Coburn. Duncan from Maryland. He's athletic. I like Lucas Van Ness more than Miles Murphy. Foskey has some really good tape, but he needs to bulk up. He doesn't have the power moves right now. Trade back and get Broderick Jones. Like I said, if we don't get a right tackle in free agency, we need that in the first round. Getting ready to go to Vegas tomorrow for March Madness. Nice. Yeah, Foskey probably fits better as a stand-up in a 3-4 than a 4-3. I have scouted some Isaiah McGuire. He's just a legit pass rusher. I don't know how he'll be standing up against the run, but he can pass rush. Could the Bears have a starting right tackle on the team already? If so, it would have to be Alex Leatherwood, but you got to at least bring in competition if that's the case. Ashton, thanks so much for the super chat. That one's tough. I think we take all of our picks this year. It's possibly he makes another trade in the draft, though. Thanks for the question. Tight end or offensive line? Offensive line for sure. I don't think we sign a tight end. Broncos definitely overpaid for McGlinchey. Night Evie. Kramer's so small. Yeah, I don't know if he's ready to be center. I seriously doubt we trade picks for players. Maybe a future pick. Tomlinson, 4 years, 57. That's good. Trading back and get Cansey. I like Cansey. I don't know if they'll do that, though. Yeah, I know. Brain is super scrambled. Bears getting 17 and 32. I saw that one. That's semi-realistic. I don't know if the Steelers want to give us our pick back, though, like that. I don't think we take JSN in the first. D-line soon. Yeah, we got Demarcus Walker already. That's our newest signing. So 4 players on the day. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, both at linebacker. And then we got Nate Davis at guard and Demarcus Walker defensive end. I think Walker's definitely better than Al-Quadin Muhammad, but not a whole lot better than Al-Quadin Muhammad. But he's definitely better. He's going to at least get pressures. Like, if Walker was here last year, he wouldn't change our defensive line. That's kind of the problem last year is our defensive line last year didn't have a talent overall. So he got a lot of attention. Let's see. If he was on our line last year, Walker, he probably wouldn't have got 7 sacks. He probably would have got 3. I think Viper's in San Diego. Bro, I'm killing chat. He is pretty good at... Yo, I love Viper. He kills at that. Bears sign Orlando Brown or trade for Slade Jr. More likely they sign Orlando Brown. I don't think we trade for Darius Slay. Angelo Blackson is not on the team. I hope they go after Caleb McGarry. True. Walker or Gibson? Walker slightly. I don't think he's a lot better than Trevis Gibson, but he's better than Trevis Gibson. Let's see. What tackle are you comfortable with starting day one? Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson, DeJuan Jones, but I don't know if he's a fit, and then Darnell Wright. I got like 4. That's about it. Maybe. Oh, and then Anton Harrison. Week 1 offensive line. That's tough. Braxton Jones, Nate Davis, Lucas Patrick, Tevin Jenkins, and Paris Johnson at right tackle. Marvin Harrison Jr. next year is... You got news on DeJuan too? You're killing me. You're killing me, Jordan. Let me see. Walker could kick into nose tackle. To 3 tech maybe, not nose. I don't think Jenkins plays right tackle. I think he stays. Yo, Viper's right there. Look at him. Look at my man Viper. Put some respect on that man's name. Kellen Deesh, hey. Hey, Night Momo. Appreciate you, brother. Let me see. Caleb McGarry is still on the board. Yes, sir. I was just checking. I missed a couple there. Walker's a DT. He plays a little bit. I seen him take more snaps on the line, on defensive end, than I did. It's something he doesn't want to break, Cliff. Chat's too crazy for Swift. Hey, catch you later, brother. Does Chase Young... Hey, Chase Young fits any defense. That guy is a freak of nature. Freak of nature. We got to cut... Ooh. He didn't get to play center. I don't know how you can... I don't know how you can say that. Sheldon Rankins is out there. There's a couple defensive tackles. I think that's better for the draft, though. I think that's one where it's probably going to happen in the draft. Okay, I ran through so many questions. I think I killed that. All right, maybe. What do you guys... All right, Jordan. Is Jordan still out there? Does he want to come on? Maybe I'll bring Jordan on. We'll talk with Jordan for 20 minutes or so. Close it out for the night. Let me see if he's still out there. I'll see if he answers first. Yeah, Jordan's here. Okay, let me pull one up. Hold on. No, I don't think Jenkins is going back to... Most of the questions are repeating now. You guys got to go back and watch then. I've answered some of these questions like 30 times. Some of them I've answered a few times. Let me get Jordan on here for a few minutes. Jordan had some takes he really wanted to give out. I think the Browns did get Tomlinson as far as I know. Let me see. I might have to turn my cam off for a minute to get this going. Wait, is it working? Give me 1 second here. That's the newest signing, Demarcus Walker. Could Isaiah Wynn play right tackle? Yes. Yes, he could. Okay. I'm done with crazy questions, I think. All right, we got Jordan Silvera about to join. Let me send him the link. And I'm going to refill my drink because I'm out of drinks. And I need a drink. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh, I think we draft a center. There's a couple more good questions there. Peter Skoronsky will be the best. Hey, I like Peter Skoronsky. What did he ask you to do, Jordan? Oh, break the news. Yeah, he said he can't do that. All right, we're getting Jordan in here. Let me send him this link. Let me go get a drink while we wait on him. Give me like 30 seconds, chat, to go get a drink. And then we'll finish this up with Jordan. My boy, Jordan T. Silvera. All right, I just sent him that. Let me refill my drink. Give me 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds at least. Wait a minute. Hold up, Jordan. Wait, Jordan, talk. Okay. Hold up, Jordan's here. I'm just gonna let Jordan. I'm gonna get him going before I go, so that way, arc this game. Oh yeah, I need my headset. Don't worry, guys. I got this. There we go, Jordan.
What's up with it?
Hey, there we go. Chat, this is my boy, Jordan T. Silvera. Let me get the cam up here. Oop, that's not it. Now it's it. Okay. Boom! Jordan T. Silvera, everybody. Here to talk with the newest free agent signings. We got Jordan here for another... I'll do another 20, to 30 minutes or so, and then I got to go. I'm getting tired. But
I get you.
my boy Jordan here to talk about the newest signings. I know he's got some stuff he's been eager to talk about. So, Jordan, take it away. I'm going to refill my drink. Give me just a second, guys.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, chat, feel free to hit me with the questions if you have any, but I figure we'll just kind of go off the top and just talk about the signings today. Everybody want to know, like, what's the news of NS? It's not news. Obviously, we're a month or so away. There's nobody that's booked in chalk and said, oh, we're drafting so-and-so, but I have information on just feelings from the Bears on prospects, as well as whether or not certain prospects were seen at the combine or before by the Bears in just different aspects. Jeremy said, I'm running those Slurpees and Fro Yellow. What's up, Jones? Y'all are funny. No, I don't have anything I can break. I mean, I hate to be that guy because I've always said, like, if you have sources, you should feel free to out them. But I also have to respect and understand that the people giving me the information, if they don't want it shared, I have to respect that. And some of that's from the players themselves. So I can't do that. But anyways, about the signings today. So let's talk a little bit about the Demarcus Walker one, because I know Swift sounds like you haven't done a ton of tape study on him, but I'll fill you in a little bit on him. Former Titan, which I think you know me, I love John Robinson and anybody that's from the Titans and that group with Vrabel, which is kind of the reason for the whole Nate Davis excitement and all of that stuff going on too, which is probably my favorite signing of the day. But Demarcus Walker is a guy that, you know who Charles Omenihu is, correct? Yep, very similar in that role. A guy that can play inside or outside at 3 tech or DN. Really, really productive with, and I understand. I mean, 7 sacks is still legit. It's better than what our leading sack master at Brisker had last year, but pretty damn productive considering the limited role he played in Todd Downing's Tennessee Titans defense. And you got to consider that. I understand he's playing next to Jeffrey Simmons and all these other guys, but I mean, they were largely playing with Mario Edwards, who we're familiar with. Harold Landry was out all year, but Dupree was kind of not producing. So in many ways, Demarcus Walker was incredibly productive considering his limited play time. And, you know, considering the fact that I tend to think he'd probably be best as a 3 tech where you can just put him one-on-one on guards and just let him beat up guards, similar to, you know, any way where you want to run different stunts, anything. If you can get a one-on-one matchup, I think that Demarcus Walker can be winning that battle for you. But I mean, Courtney Cronin and a few others have talked about him potentially playing edge, which is a little bit more like that Lucas Van Ness role, where Lucas Van Ness is a guy that'll really just kind of run through you and put you on your skates and put you in the quarterback's lap with power rush more than finesse. And I think if you're going to play Demarcus Walker on the edge, then I would probably venture to say that ask him to drop about 10, 15 pounds. To see if you can get a little bit more agility out of him. But he's a really good, versatile 2-way player where I think he can go inside and out. So I know it's not the big name that everybody wanted, but again, you're talking about Draymond Jones, which I was just as high on Draymond as a lot of other guys, but you're talking about a $10 million discrepancy there on average. And that's not even getting into the fact that if we're just talking about matching Seattle's deal, it's not 10, it's 23 million this year versus 7 million this year. So you're talking about a big discrepancy there. So it's not a splashy move. I don't think he's going to be your starting 3 tech and super impactful, but I think he can provide some juice to a unit that lacked pretty much any of it last year. You there, Swifty, or you bounced up?
I love it. Rogers is a troll. $10 super chat. Love you, JA. Rogers is definitely a troll.
I put out a clip on Twitter right now of Walker beating up on John Runyon Jr., the guard from Green Bay.
So I had a question for you then, because I had watched a little bit of tape on Walker, and he played on edge. He played the edge and defensive tackle in Tennessee. Yep. You see him as more of a 3-tech than a defensive end?
Yeah, so, and again, it depends on what you want.
Especially in Eberflus's system, specifically, yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you want. And I mean, that's the thing that I think a lot of Bears fans, and just fans in general, need to consider, is that you're always looking to maximize somebody's potential. And like, I don't mean to take it on a a different topic here, but we talk about Skoronski and how, like, to me, sure, he could play center, he could play all 5 positions, but I think I'd rather have a fantastic guard than a really good tackle. And so to me, like, put him at guard and let him be the best version of himself. And I think that's similar to Demarcus Walker, where he stands the best chance to make an impact and be a interior disruptor if his athleticism is put on the burden of a guard to defend and block him. Whereas on the edge, sure, he can beat the hell out of a tackle and he can set the edge. But I by no means do I think he's going to be that really bendy, athletic freak of a DN the way that, say, like a Dominic Robinson is.
Ooh, okay,
where he's got bend and speed. And so I think that's really the difference. Now, again, I don't think that you can't play him there, but I think, to me, if I'm coaching the team, I'd put him a little bit more on 3-tech.
Someone asked about Zach Charbonnet, what you think about him replacing Demo. I knew you were a fan of him. And then someone said, your picture on your wall is crooked.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is I'm on like it is probably crooked. It is the Chicago Bears Soldier Field Stadium, done with all of the different players' names that have ever played with the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Making up the image.
2024.
So, yes.
I love it, Wiley.
So yeah, I mean, to me, the Demarcus Walker move is another. I mean, I've told you about this, Swift. Like, I'd rather I call it like the Duke Tobin approach, but Duke Tobin, GM of the Bengals, had previously spent a ton of money on Trey Waynes, the corner from Minnesota, and Trey Waynes never really played much for them, never produced, and it was kind of a waste of a contract. Mm-hmm. And he took that as a way to learn and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to come back and I'm going to reload at the position. But instead of giving this one massive contract out to Trey Waynes, I'm going to give multiple mid-level contracts. I'm not bargain basement shopping, but I'm going to give a solid deal to a nickel corner in Mike Hilton, and then I'm going to give it to, instead of this big, because that was the thing, Trey Waynes is living off of that first-round draft status, similar to Mike McGlinchey. Instead of giving it to that guy, I'm going to go and give it to a Chidobe Awuzie, and now I have two solid players that if one of them fails, the other can maybe assume that role, or if they're both good, now I filled multiple holes. And I think that's what you're starting to see with Poles, where he's choosing to invest in these positions that you can get better value from in free agency. There is no value to be had at cornerback, at tackle, at
Very
defensive
true.
end, at defensive tackle. And I'm not saying, and this is where we're going to differ. I don't think that it was great value for the Tremaine Edmonds contract, and that's its own thing. But like, you're going to get value at Nate Davis at $10 million's value, and so is TJ Edwards at $6 million, and Demarcus Walker at $7 million a year is chump change. I mean, we're talking about Demarcus Walker's contract isn't considered, but I believe the Bears still have $50 million over in cap space.
Yeah, I think they're down to about. I think after that it's about 43. But that's another thing that I touched on earlier. I think you were in the chat, but people don't consider how much we rotate defensive ends and defensive linemen. That maybe we sign 3 or 4 of these guys, on Demarcus Walker's level. And then you draft a couple guys hoping they develop into difference makers, and that's how we get a better defensive line overall.
Let's go down that road then, because you want to sit there and talk about the names. Like, to me, when I start thinking about those Demarcus Walker level people, you start talking about a guy like Charles Omenihu.
That was my first. I was going to say Omenihu and Ebukam are the first two that come to mind.
Samson Ebukam. You start talking about, what about that defensive tackle? Okay, what about Greg Gaines? I know people are like, who the hell's Greg Gaines?
No, he was on my top 10, yeah.
Yeah, Greg Gaines is there from the Rams. They're trying to fire, so they're not going to bring him back. Really solid player that they took in, I believe, in the 3rd round out of Washington. You got Tier Tart, another. I'm a Titans guy. Tier Tart was I understand he played in an odd front in a 3-4, but very disruptive kind of mauler in the inside of the defensive line.
Probably be more of a nose, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you start going down the list, you have, here, you want a good example? What about Ashawn Robinson?
I like Ashawn, man. I like him and Jerron. I think Jerron Reed re-signed, but I liked both those guys coming out of Alabama. I studied them both.
Like, people forget that Ashawn Robinson was like a single-handed wrecking crew at stopping the run for the Rams 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep, true.
And nobody's talking about him, and I get he's been hurt, and I get he had a bad year off, but what is a guy like that? Is it a 1 year, $6 million prove it? Like, that's... To me, those are the ways that you win in free agency. Like, I would beg the chat and I'm not saying everybody in the chat's upset, but I've had so many people come at me on Twitter today about, we need to be taking these huge swings. You don't get better by signing middle players. And I would seriously... I don't
agree with that, yeah.
I see, and that's my thing. Like,
well, that's the thing. Tremaine Edmonds is a huge swing. I think he's the best coverage linebacker in the league, but I think you made a good point there, is you don't go after the positions where you have to extremely overpay in free agency. Exactly. You draft those. But that leads me to think, I've said this tonight, then what do you think? if we don't get if Walker's the 3 tech, then going into the draft at number 9, are you with me that you think you have to take a right tackle there? Because you can get defensive ends that can come in and rotate and play 40 to 50% of the time in the 2nd and 3rd round, but can you get a right tackle? Because we don't draft until 53. So,
I mean, I like Wanya Morris.
yeah,
I
mean, they
that's
like Wanya Morris
that's
too. I
just
think
that's just an example.
but then
but
you're
like,
taking another. I don't know if you can do that again, unless you're at least signing a veteran.
but
You'd
like,
have to sign somebody then at that point. You can't just say
Sure.
we're going to draft this guy in the 4th or 5th round, or even the 3rd round or 3rd round probably for Wanya. We're going to draft Wanya here at the 3rd round, and he's just going to come in and be our day 1 starter.
Sure. Now imagine, and I know this is not going to be fun or sexy for Bears fans to listen to, but like you got to remember that Riley Reif was a guy picked up on the eve of training camp last year, and honestly wasn't a liability and was a solid right tackle for the team. And so, to me, like I understand everybody wants the big name, and right now the only guy left is Caleb McGarry. So if you're not getting Caleb McGarry, you failed, and I just don't see it that way. Like I'm sitting here looking at it, like you have to look at those draft picks as yes, they're draft picks, but really what they're more of is their assets, their lottery picks. And you can't tell me that, for all I know, like maybe pick 54 is enough to get Laramie Tunsil out of Houston. You just don't know. Maybe you decide to give up a 2nd rounder for Yosh Nijman. Maybe you decide to sign George Fant, who's 30 years old but has left tackle and right tackle versatility.
That's a guy who was on my list, I think. Okay, so if you're not taking a tackle at number 9, then you at least have to sign a guy like George Fant. You need a veteran who can come in and start. At least he's not going to be a huge upgrade, but you have to at least stabilize the position if you're not going to take a shot at a guy at number 9.
And I know that that's probably not the most attractive or fun thing for fans to hear, because you always I want a Quentin Nelson at every single position on my offensive line, but that's not realistic. You can't afford to pay 5 guys top of the market money. And sometimes all you really need is competence at one of those positions. And I would challenge anybody. You can go watch George Fant's film and see that that's competence. He's not going to get your quarterback killed. And I know his name's not Caleb McGarry or Michael McGlinchey or Jawan Taylor, but it doesn't have to be. And whether we all want to admit it or not, so many of us get caught in the hoopla of names because, well, that was a 1st rounder and I remember his name in the draft. And so that must mean he's really good. And it's like, that's not how football works. It's not.
Yep.
And that's the thing I would push back and challenge so many fans about with free agency is, like I was saying, I get so much pushback about, well, we missed out on Draymond Jones and Mike McGlinchey, and we can't be winning with mid-level players. And I would seriously push back and ask people to tell me what are the recent free agents that were
Night
top
Plank.
deals.
Have a good one, brother. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, no, it's okay. I'm just like, think about that. Like, what are the swings in free agency that are top of the market deals that usually work out and you're like, that was a good deal? And obviously we can find them. Like the one that comes to mind to me is Joe Tooney was a really good signing by the Chiefs. They spent top of the money market for him. He's been a fantastic player, but overall, like it usually doesn't happen. Like Christian Kirk did okay last year. Like he was pretty solid for his $83 million contract. I still would prefer DJ Moore at a cheaper price than what they paid for Christian Kirk.
Man, DJ Moore, if anyone thinks Christian Kirk is as good as DJ Moore, I'd have to tell them they're crazy.
Yeah, well, and it's like the thing, like Teron Armstead's a great left tackle. Truly, he's fantastic. But he's never shown an ability to stay healthy. Yeah. And so they paid him a pretty friendly deal.
He's never started even 15 games in one season.
And guess what? It didn't happen last year either. He ended up getting hurt. So it's like you can't again, you'll find me these one-offs where like,
oh, there's one. I mean, Hassan Reddick was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
There's guys that, I mean, there's big free agents that happen, but let me switch gears to the draft a little bit.
Sure.
If he doesn't sign any more, if he doesn't take any more big swings in free agency, and he adds a couple more middling guys, like we can get an Omenahu or maybe even a George Fant or something, but if he doesn't take any more big swings, who are your top 3 options at number 9?
Skoronski is probably my favorite, but that's definitely changed with the Nate Davis signing because I don't see him as a tackle.
Okay, yep.
Lucas Van Ness is one of those guys, but I call it an inkling. We'll just leave it at that. I don't think he's the pick. I think that ideally Tyree Wilson is a guy that they hope falls. Or of course Jalen Carter. I think if Jalen Carter at 9 is a sweet spot, but again, to me, Skoronski was the number one idea there, but I think they're really fond of Paris Johnson. Or to me, and I'm not even so high on Paris Johnson as I am like a DeWand or something like that, but the one that's undeniable to me is Broderick Jones.
Yeah, I think Paris, maybe his arms are so long and he's so athletic. He's Field's former teammate. There's just a lot in that one. I think it fits.
Yeah, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with Paris Johnson. I mean, the thing that I can't deny about him is he has the versatility. He's played guard, he's played right tackle, right guard. So I mean, he's got the versatility that even Broderick doesn't. But Broderick Jones is just so smooth. I mean, a really good mover at his size, really agile. And as much as I'll tell you, like to me, guards, you heard it from Getsy, he said guards are more important in this scheme. They also still do a lot with tackles where they'll ask those tackles to pull out space where you have Braxton Jones leading up for Khalil Herbert against New England on that screen. That's not abnormal. And Broderick Jones is a guy that can get out there in space and just start working on people. So whether, again, I don't know how that would work for Braxton and things like that, but that'd be a home run hit as well.
They asked about Cody Mausch. He's a guard to me. I don't think I just like Skoronski. I think he's probably going to play guard. He actually showed he could play center at the Senior Bowl as well. So Mausch is another guy who can play center. I like Avila at center a lot. Myles Murphy is
fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's not an exciting pick at number 9, but he could definitely go there.
Like, here's the thing. You have to look at player, and this is not just college, this is NFL. Like, I brought this up about Marcus Davenport, who signed today with the Vikings for 1 year. Like, you have to sit here and think, why did a player not produce more with all the talent around him? Like, when you consider Myles Murphy, he was playing with Brian Brzee and
KJ Henry and
Tyler Davis.
Yep, and Romeo or Irko or something. The other defensive end. They got a ton of talent on that line. Why was he not killing it? Yeah, it's true.
Why was he not like the best defensive end in the land? And like that's the thing. Like Marcus Davenport was playing with Cam Jordan and Onyemata and Shai Tuttle and Demario Davis and all these different. Like, why was he not just consistently wrecking it?
He asked, like, who would you take then at 9?
If it was me, it's Lucas Van Ness.
Okay.
And again, it's Peter Skoronski was the name before they signed Nate Davis. But they did, so I have to go, okay, well, to me, go get Lucas Van Ness, a guy that can be your D-end or 3-tech, whichever way you want to play him. And he's got a lot of that same inside-out versatility that Demarcus Walker does. But frankly, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, and I know you're not going to – you probably won't believe this, but I wouldn't surprise me if they pick corner. I know
if we do, I really want it to be Devin Witherspoon. Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter are both really good players. I think either one I'd probably fall in love with, but man, Devin Witherspoon, you can watch like half a game of tape and like you're like, yeah, sign me up.
Because that's the thing. Like I know, and believe me, I get it. It's like, yeah, we need trench help, and I'll be the first to say, like, yes, please fill the trenches.
That's the thing is right now it's like we need a lot more in the trenches before I can. People keep asking. Those are the popular ones. Are corner, JSN, and Bijan. All three of those, but all three of them are. I mean, corner's the only one. Well, corner and wide receiver polls views as a premium position.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, and there's so many. Like nobody talks about him, but Keon White is a guy that I have a feeling polls is really high on, as a 3-tech kind of disruptor. And he's going to, I mean, he tested out the gym. You look at Brian Brzee. Like, Brzee could be had at that 9, even move down. Like, if, let's say, for example.
Probably get him at 14, I'd say.
Yeah, like, this is the thing is, I get everybody's so Jalen Carter, Will Anderson focused. But it goes well beyond them to Lucas Van Ness, to Myles Murphy, to Brian Brzee, to Keon White.
Will McDonald, BJ Ojolari. Yeah, like, I mean. Andre Carter, there's guys everywhere. I love Adebawore. I love Keanu Benton. There's just quite a few. And that's where I said, like, maybe I don't get my favorite guy, but in that second round range, those 3 picks we have in a row, you should be able to get one interior lineman, a guard or a center who can play guard. If you take an Avila, a Mausch, John Michael Schmidt, Tippmann, like there's 4 or 5 guys that at least one or two have to fall to one of those picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd imagine. And then you also could grab 2 defensive linemen in that range. You can grab a guy who can play inside, Adebawore, Benton. I mean, there's some guys further down as well, or a defensive end if Keon White's there, or Zach Harrison, or there's so many guys that could be there in that range that someone's going to be there at one of those positions. So Andre Carter, Isaiah Foskey, like someone's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, if I'm not a betting man, but if somebody was like, "Hey, I got $500 and I'm burning a hole in my pocket, I got to put it down somewhere," like who are they picking in the first round? I don't even know if I want to give you a name, but I definitely, if you had to say like what's the most likely position that they're taking, it's tackle to me.
Okay.
Because this is the thing, like this is where they're willing to spend some money in free agency. Is I wouldn't be surprised if they take like a flyer on Ben Jones or Garrett Bradbury or a guard.
I could see
But
Ben Jones really. I mean, I've heard polls
but you
talk him
don't-
up before.
You don't get tackles cheap. It just doesn't exist. So again, this is what I'm talking about. Like we'll spend the money in free agency on positions that I don't have to stretch out so far to get. But in the draft, you know why I take a corner? Because I don't find cheap corners on free agency. They don't become available. You know why I take a tackle? Because tackles are not cheap. All the good
Those are
ones
the
that
two
are
I think.
salt.
I think it's probably the 2 most likely guys. If I had to put a guess on it right now after this is a huge day of free agency. Like polls isn't done, but we saw like a big portion of his vision tonight. So to me, I agree with you. Yeah, the tackle or corner is probably most likely, or defensive line. I'd say defensive line. Defensive line, there's so much talent that someone can fall to us. Like if Tyree Wilson falls, like.
Well, like here's the thing: there's just truly not enough players. There's no shortage of players. Rather, that if you stay at 9, you are guaranteed to get a solid pick. Like I'm just being real because, like, let's say for example. Again, I won't even go all 4 quarterbacks. Let's say that, again, I'm going to be crazy. There's going to be more than 2, but let's say 2 quarterbacks go. It's just Stroud and Young, and maybe people fall off the Levis. And again, that's not going to happen. But like, if it was just 2, you have 7 picks. Even if I was rattling off the top of the dome, and again, this is assuming no corners or anything. It's Carter, it's Anderson, it's Wilson, it's Van Ness, it's I guess Keon White.
Where do you have Will McDonald at? Curious.
Second round.
Second round, okay.
Top of the second. I know people really like him, but I just don't see him as a Bears fit. Too light in the pants.
Got it.
Like he's fantastic.
I love his game though. He's awesome.
Yeah. Like he's bendy as hell. He's a fantastic 3-4 edge, but like
there's just so much defensive line talent in this one. Like, and Getsy spent a lot of time with a lot of guys at the Senior Bowl. Like, we're gonna find someone there. Wait, I had a good question here. What was it?
You have Swifty. You have people like sitting here bitching and complaining about, man, like we didn't get a 3 tech and there's no tackle. And I'm like, you do realize like how many tackles? Like, let's just take those 2. We didn't get a 3 tech, and we didn't get a tackle. You take a tackle at 9, let's just say, and again, you could take a D lineman at 9, and then you come back with Darnell Wright in the second. But again, people probably wouldn't be there that late. So let's say you go with a tackle. And then in the second round, you end up with Keanu Benton. Like, hey, there's your 3 tech and your tackle. What are you mad about? Well, we didn't get a D end. Oh, that's right. There's 2 other second-round picks and third-round picks that you can have. Oh, we didn't get a center. That's right. You can plug those away. Like, there's no shortage of options here.
I love that. And you're not going to fill all those holes, but I think you should be able to get a center. You should be able to get a right tackle, and you should be able to get at least 2 players on the defensive line, 1 edge and 1 tackle. Now,
and like if it were me, man,
probably more because you can still get guys like, think about guys like Baldonado and KJ Henry, guys that are going to be there in the 4th round.
Byron Young.
Yeah, Byron Young, both Byron Youngs. He likes both of them. I think the Tennessee Byron Young ends up being a day 2 pick, probably late 2nd or 3rd. He could be a guy we take right there though.
There's a BJ Thompson that you're going to get in day 3, and people are going to be like, "Who's that?" And I'm like,
BJ Thompson too. Yeah, I like him with Baldonado.
Most athletic edge that you're going to find. Like, What it comes from, Swifty, is it's people that think that you build Rome in a day. And because this is the funny thing too, is spend Ryan Poles, you got to spend it all, man. You got to just ball out of control, and you better have zero money left. But then you're going to be mad in a month and a half when it's like, what do you mean Cole Kmet and Jalen Johnson and Darnell Mooney don't have new contracts? What do you mean we did? Like, you can't have it all. And this is the thing, is like, tell me the last time that the Eagles or the Ravens, I just use those two as examples, but the last times that the Eagles or the Ravens spent a ton in free agency to fill their roster.
They don't do it, yeah.
They don't do it.
Create real quick. Avila can play center. He played
Yeah,
center 2 out
I
of
like
his.
him at guard.
I like him as center, though. He just asked if we can not draft him now because we paid a guard. I think he could play center. And
Yeah,
how would Orlando Brown impact the number 9 pick? I think if we got Orlando Brown or McGarry, or if we just signed a big tackle at all, probably means that pick's going D-line or corner.
Well, that's the funny thing to me too. Like, it's because it's, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, it's got to be Orlando Brown because that's the name recognition. Like, screw the fact that Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham found a starting left tackle in the 5th round last year. That means nothing. They have no clout. They must not be able to pull offensive lineman gems out of the 5th round. You know, it's just impossible for them to do it again. Like, and I'm not telling you to bet that way, but the reality is, give them a chance. And I was as harsh on Ryan Poles as anybody, but understanding that he was working with toothpicks and bubble gum and scotch tape last year, and he was able to be like, I'll pull this Braxton Jones guy, and I'll draft this Trenton Gill, and I'll pull Josh Blackwell off of a practice squad, and he'll come in and play good nickel for me, and we'll go get Kari Blasingame, and he'll be our F tight end and fullback. Like, give him a chance to where it doesn't all happen in a day, and let the others that are spending fool's gold, like, look, I get Denver's the hot name. Like, wow, they got Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers and Alex Singleton's retained, and they got it's cool, man. It's cool. Like, yeah, I guess that's awesome. They're also trying to rehabilitate a quarterback that nobody knows if they're good, and they've sunk in all their picks into it, and they were able to get I guess they don't even have a 1st round pick anymore because they gave it away from Bradley Chubb to get Sean Payton. So,
True.
Yeah, they're trying to piece it together. Like, you do not win the offseason by spending free agent. I guess you win the offseason. You don't win the season by spending it all in free agency.
Larry O is probably not going to be brought back.
I don't think what.
Oh, this guy's asked this twice. Can you guys explain why Edmonds is a good fit in the scheme, but Roquan wasn't? I got a couple points for this. One was the money. We got both linebackers for the same price. We got TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds for the same price as Roquan. The other is, I think Roquan was a pretty good fit, but I do think Edmonds is a better fit, in my opinion, because of his coverage skills. What's your take on that, Jordan?
Yeah, I think, to me, and it is a little more expensive for TJ and Edmonds together. It's 23 versus 20. So I'm not saying it's cheap, and that's why I'm saying, like,
it's right there. It's right there.
I don't love the Edmonds deal. Like, I'm not mad about it. I see all the highs and the traits. I just think that's a hell of a lot of money to spend on a linebacker. But to answer the question of why were they willing to give him a big deal but not Roquan? Well, one, whether you like to admit it or not, some of it is about timing and it's about representation. Like, you know what's nice is Tremaine Edmonds has an agent that's pretty reasonable to talk to and to get a deal done. And you're walking after a practice every day going, hey, Roquan, can we do a deal? And he's not necessarily willing to budge off of his number. And I'm happy for Roquan. I'm glad he got his deal. The other end of it, too, is that we're talking about playing the NFL in the modern day where, again, it's all about timing and defense. Like, I personally like Tremaine Edmonds more than Roquan in that draft. But I understood that Roquan was better for the Fangio defense in a 3-4 where you've got Akeem Hicks and all these big bodies up front eating up blocks.
Nicholas made a good point, too. 6'5". I mean,
yeah, because that's what we're getting to.
When you're covering linebacker, or when you're covering tight ends, running backs out of the backfield, receivers in the slot, being 6'5", having those long arms, he can take away. Because we saw it a lot last year with Roquan, even early in the season.
Couldn't match up against even a tight end.
Well, a lot of times linebackers, even when they're not playing man, they'll play that little zone over the middle where when they do the mesh point, the linebacker kind of drops in and it opens a window for slants behind him. And when you're 6 foot and you don't have as big of arms, You can't you can't get in
You
the
know what
way
I
of the
call him?
passing window. Yeah, I know.
I call him a condor.
Yeah.
The big bird that's got the huge wingspan, because that's what he is. Quay Walker. He is
I
Devondre Campbell.
love Tremaine
He is
Edmonds just so
he is
much, man.
Brian Urlacher. He's Fred Warner. It's what Shaq Leonard. It's the linebackers you want today. And this is what I was trying to on Broadroom earlier explaining this. You have linebackers now that are DBs or safeties. Deion Henley, Christian Harris, DeMarvion Overshone. They used to be safeties that were told to put on weight so that they could be a linebacker. And the
McGlinchey went to
problem,
the Broncos. Sorry,
who?
McGlinchey.
Oh, and the problem with that is that you have these safeties that they're just not the greatest tacklers. They don't fit on contact and fit the run very well against blockers. Tremaine Edmonds is from a decade ago where it's not 6'4", 220. It's I'm 6'5", 250 because I'm a real linebacker and I just have incredible size and athleticism the way that Brian Urlacher did.
True.
And that's what the Quay Walker had. That's what Fred Warner has. It's these guys that, look, I love Roquan, but he's not going to be able to high point and put a lever up there to defend a Mike Gesicki down the seam. It just doesn't happen.
No,
He's not big enough to fight blocks. That's the difference.
very true. He can't get. And that's another thing that Tremaine Edmonds, despite his movement, like one thing that I think people misunderstand about him is because he's so good in coverage. A lot of people, usually the guys that are that good in coverage are smaller, like Roquan, maybe 220. He's 6'5", 250, so he can shed blocks. He can play the run. He can blitz off the edge, but he's also the best coverage corner in the league. And I got a super chat here. Hold up. My man, Blacksmith Rass, coming in with a super chat. Why the other linebackers over Roquan? Oh, it's the same one. Roquan is all tackles, but the other guys get sacks. Very true as well. Turnovers are very key. That's what Flus wants from a linebacker position. Forced fumbles, sacks, interceptions, tackles for loss. Get the ball.
And this is the thing, like nobody, unless you're watching Bill's tape, you're not going to see this. But Tremaine Edmonds lacks a lot of those, but it's actually not because he's not around the ball. Oftentimes, he was the guy that was tipping it or putting the ball in an area where Poyer or Hyde or one of those other guys, Milano, could have snagged.
You see his makeup, like he can be beat. And that's the thing with that wingspan and that length, he tips so many balls, and he'll tip them up, and then Poyer and Tre'Davious White, but Eddie Jackson's going to be back there like, ooh.
And that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
so
man.
I this is why I told you I didn't love the money, because it's not a bad contract. It's just about you're threading a tighter needle now. It's saying, I believe that Tremaine Edmonds is worth 18 a year. And he could be. But now he has to live up to an expectation of like, I am a top 4 backer in the league because that's how I'm paid. Okay. That's the needle you're now trying to thread. And like I said, it's not my money. Go ahead and spend it. But that's the thing is, and this is where it's going to be a unique combination. TJ Edwards is all instinct, not the greatest athlete. Now he plays better on film. He's got some Jack Sanborn in him that way.
Can we compare TJ and Sanborn? What about TJ and Edmonds to Urlacher and Briggs?
Oh, it's so funny because, well, I don't think that's fair. Like, let's start.
They're our best linebackers.
Well, because let's separate
since Urlacher and Briggs for sure.
I'm not talking about career arc because they got a lot of work to do to ever even be considered that. But I will say I do think that that's exactly what they're trying to get. And the thing that's different about Flus versus Lovey or Kiffin is that, I mean, and Greg Gabriel and others have talked about this before, is that when they showed Lance Briggs to Lovey was like, hell no, I don't want a guy that runs that slow. And they were like, no, hold on, watch the tape. And it looks different. And so sure enough, they drafted Lance, picked him up, and he played faster than his athletics ever showed. And then
that's what TJ Edwards does. I mean, honestly, his athleticism wasn't there on his RAS, but when you watch him on film, he's very athletic.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, so I guess I could see TJ Edwards as a guy that could be that like kind of Lance Briggs, but here's the different part is I think TJ's your Mike, and you just follow the money. Like Edmonds, follow the money.
Exactly? But that's the thing is with Eberflus is he does at times he wants them to be interchangeable. You've seen it on film with Sanborn and Morrow last year. Morrow was the will, but there were times when he also played the Mike.
Oh, make no mistake. Like, you're not going to ask TJ Edwards to drop into Tampa 2 and play the deep third and cover benches, digs, deep curl. Not happening. Doesn't have the athleticism or the length for it. So in those scenarios, yes, it's a, hey, TJ Edwards, I know you may technically be the Mike on paper and as the starting lineup, but you're going to play the curl to flat first to fourth defender. And then you're going to Edmonds to play the Tampa 2, drop into that deep third and carry that vertical seam from Gesicki, for example. Like, that is going to happen. So, I mean, it's like follow the money. He's going to be the will backer. And what you're betting on, this is what Flus and Dave Borgonzi are betting on, is that we want to get our Shaq Leonard. That is our Shaq Leonard.
That is what he is. He's going to be the will. He's going to create turnovers. He's going to post over 100 tackles a season. I mean, the best thing, though, the thing that I think most people underrate is just what this does to our secondary. Like, the back seven of our defense is now built. Both corners, nickel corner. We'll probably get another corner at some point. But then we have our two coverage linebackers that can shut teams down when it comes to the running backs and the tight ends and the little slants that eat it. I mean, Roquan got killed on those. He couldn't cover.
Yeah, people sleeping on Sanborn like he doesn't know how to read a defense or read an offense, and drop into his zone and pick off the ball. I mean, that was one first interception in the preseason and had a couple more like that. I mean, he's got the IQ as well for it. So I'm excited. I think it's good, and it's not a lot to complain about. I don't know how anybody's not happy about today.
Which game this season did you know the Bears could dominate? Thanks for the super chat, Jay. This season coming up?
No, I think. Well, I'll say last year.
I picked us to beat the Niners, so
I thought for sure that they would.
The Texans.
Yeah, that wasn't even that pretty. I had personally thought that they would actually beat and dominate the Giants, and it didn't happen. And some of that was like Velus dropping a punt and just a lot of stupid defensive mistakes where Brisker was letting Daniel Jones out on the bootleg and some of those funky plays that I was just like, I was shocked that Kafka was able to work that defense as bad as he did.
Cliff's asked here if there's any chance we take a cornerback at 9 if it falls. I think we both talked about that a little bit. It's definitely possible because he could be the best player on the board, and it's a premium
I'll tell you
position.
what, Joey Porter is one of my blue chippers in the draft. So if you were like, hey, it's Joey Porter, I'm not going to be mad.
Mine's Witherspoon. See, I think Porter's my second guy. I have it Witherspoon, Porter, Gonzalez.
Yeah,
but
and
honestly, you could 1, 2, 3 it anyway, and it's
like Gonzalez to me is very Kyler Gordon-esque. Incredible athletic freak that is just rangy, can jump through the gym. Witherspoon is one of the more physical corners I've seen in a long time, and plays like he's got his hair on fire and will smack you and cause snot bubbles. Joey Porter is he's the closest thing I've seen to Jalen Ramsey in years.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, we talked about Demarcus Walker a lot, bro. You got to go back a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah.
Percent chance of Monty coming back. I think we answered this last time. I said 30. Did you answer this one before too?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said 60% he comes back because I think he's going to go out there and not find a deal that he wants. And
we got a 30 and a 60. Hey, thanks for the super chat. The way we beat I love the way we beat New England. Thanks for that super chat, brother. I didn't expect that one though. I expected the two. I think the ones I expected to be wins and they weren't were our first game against the Vikings. That was kind of one of the tone setters for the season, actually, when Amir Smith-Marset got the ball ripped out of his hands.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those, here we go again. Velus also muffed a punt that game, so we had multiple things go wrong. We could have beat the Vikings early in the year. And then the Washington game, when we fall a yard short, Fields does everything he can to win that game. I expected us to win that one, and that loss was just kind of, I think that was the point where I started, at least in the back of my mind, thinking about draft position a little bit more. Like, dang, we're there, but we're not a competitive. We're not a playoff team this year. So,
yeah,
3 years, 18 for Monty. It could happen, bro. It could happen. All right, let me see. I think we're about done. You feeling it? You sound
Yeah, I'm good, man.
okay. Well, Jordan, as always, brother, great having you on here, man.
Yeah, much love,
I'm
Swifty.
about to go too. It's midnight. It's time. I love you, brother. As
Hey, we'll
always,
talk soon.
Jordan T. Silvera on Twitter. Check him out. Give him a follow. He's always got good threads on there.
Yeah, much appreciated, Swifty and Chad. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, have a good one.
All right, boys. I think it's about time to wrap it up. I've been live a while. Kind of tired. I don't know if you guys can tell it. I've been going over Bears news, watching news all day. I think I made like 3 videos today and then live streamed for a while. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to put a movie on and go to sleep. I got a lot of tape to break down. We got 4 new Bears. So that's a thing as well. I mean, 4 new Bears on the squad. Probably get 1 or 2 more. Hey, appreciate you, James. As Blue said, he runs my TikTok over there. Give it a follow if you guys are on TikTok. I am not on TikTok, but Blue runs that for me. He clips up a lot of my videos and then puts them on TikTok for me. He's the homie. That's my man. I don't know what movie yet. I'll have to ask and see what we're watching tonight. Yo, appreciate you, J-Rock. Much love, man. I've seen Any Given Sunday. I need to watch Draft Day just so I can. I want DJ Moore. Yo, nothing but love, everybody. I'll have more videos out tomorrow. I'll have all 22s on everybody we signed sometime in the next 2 weeks. I can't guarantee anything right now. We've signed too many dudes, but much love, everybody. Bear down. If you haven't hit that like button yet, what are you doing? Hit it right now. Just go ahead and hit it. I have no idea how many likes I have. I can't see that right now, so good stuff. Next live, I don't know. If we make a couple more moves, maybe soon. If not, probably the draft. I'll definitely do one for the draft. I appreciate you. There were so many people here tonight. Like, you guys are crazy. There was like 1,000 people in here all night. Like, that was insane. I love you guys. I'm out of here. You know what it is. Until next time, bear down.